Alright, Kung Fu Werewolf from Outer Space. This is James Rolfe, Cinemassacre.
This is Kevin Finn. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Werewolf from Outer Space.
A cross genre. It's got martial arts, it's got horror, it's got science fiction.
It's got a handsome actor.
One thing I was trying to do with this movie was to make it's sort of like a silent film. Not really a silent film, but a movie without much dialogue to tell its story other than just a narration. I want it to be sort of like an international sort of thing. So it's really a visual movie. You watch it and things should be self-explanatory. You might have to think a little bit.
Remember I was talking about that handsome actor?
Yeah.
That's him.
That's you.
Look at him.
Yeah.
I want everyone to have a moment of silence to enjoy how handsome I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about this first scene here. This was our first day of shooting, and I remember it snowed, and we were like, okay, are you still going to be doing laundry out in the snow? We were thinking of changing the scene all around, but
we said forget it.
Yeah, and
show must go on.
Yeah.
So
you came over with this costume, you know.
James had me watching hours and hours of martial arts movies so I could get my moves down for this one. And this was actually an homage to another scene. Isn't that correct, James?
Yeah, it was. There was an old kung fu flick, and there's the spaceship.
There's the spaceship. And that's me, astonished.
I remember you once told me that if I made this movie with good special effects and didn't have the strings, it would lose the charm.
There would be no Cinemassacre then. It would be Spielberg. And Spielberg is no James Rolfe. And so I'm heading for the spaceship. I can remember I can remember doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And Rob is coming out of the remember we put him here he is.
Oh my god, late ass Rob. We were getting nervous.
You're just gentlemen.
Hey,
we were getting nervous.
Yeah, you're just
look,
in time for your scene.
Oh man, I can remember this like it was yesterday, walking with them tight boots on.
Yeah, I found out your feet were a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, I was pretty uncomfortable in this costume, and then I remember this looking at Kev.
Take after take, getting scratched up in that
not to
damn
laugh.
tree.
And of course, not only do I have tight boots on, but I also have a strainer on my head.
Yeah.
And a graduation gown.
Our graduation gown.
And there's ugly
Edgewood
ass
99.
Tell you what, the ladies loved the way I was looking in this movie. I can tell you that much.
And you might think that that's snow on my hat, but it's actually flour.
Oh
James,
yes.
James brought in the synthetic snow.
We wanted like
food on our faces.
Yeah. We wanted some fog when the spaceship hit the ground, like some, we wanted to pick up.
As you can see, it was sprayed all over Kev's face for the remainder of the movie. Now, this scene right here was kind of taken the wrong way by a lot of different kinds of people. Some people found it to be a gay scene. That maybe the alien and the sensei had something.
No, that was actually a fake branch in that last.
Yeah, I was holding it.
Held it in front of the camera.
Yeah, making it look like an overhead shot. Yeah, but anyway, I'm trying to invent some kind of backstory that he came from another planet and he was attacked by some I don't know.
Other bad aliens.
Yeah, badass aliens, space villains, and he's come to Earth. See, everything in this movie, the theme is like everything happens for a reason. If he didn't come to Earth, if he didn't flee, he would have never met the sensei who was supposed to train him and, give him his kung fu skills to beat the attackers.
Now, the thing I really liked about this movie is how we just show everything without saying a single word. I mean, this was a new type of movie for me to make. I mean, without dialogue, like I always thought, like there'd be no storyline, but you don't need dialogue at all, and this movie shows it very well.
I think I might have actually been frustrated in this part of the movie. I was pissed off.
Frustration was definitely a factor in this movie.
Yeah, we shot
several times. I almost wanted to quit.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because really this movie got all blown out of proportion. It's not shot exactly the way I intended. We had to change things. We shot this whole movie in only 2 days, which to say the least is ridiculous. I only was able to get a few days off work that week, and we had Christmas came by, everybody spent time with their families and everything. New Year's, everybody was partying,
I must say though, this scene was the most enjoyable scene.
Oh yeah, this
of
was
the
the
whole
funniest.
movie.
This was the
Just
laugh
because
scene.
me and Kev got the laughs in.
It was
Yeah.
hard for you guys to keep a straight face during this
My
part.
favorite part of every film is the one you can't get
Yeah.
past without laughing.
Yeah.
This was the greatest part. And then, if it wasn't for this highlight, I don't think I would have made it through.
Yeah, this
Because
highlight
it-
rejuvenated us.
As you'll later see in the movie, it just goes into pure hell of filming.
Yeah.
James is an absolute slave
Physically and
driver.
mentally. James Rolfe is a slave driving director,
So-
but he gets the job done.
John Cates helps out. He's instrumental with the pyrotechnics here,
Yeah.
and he's the one that
Squirted
had the idea. Did he have the idea for
Yeah.
the fire? Or?
Yeah, he squirted some hairspray on Rob's finger.
Yeah.
Now you guys were willing to do it. I didn't. I didn't really.
No, James makes us.
James makes us burn
Do
ourselves.
everything.
Okay.
James is unfair most of the time.
Okay.
He's a tyrant.
This scene, this is where he supposedly gets the idea to train his pupil, and again, everything happens for a reason. He would have never had a pupil to train if it wasn't for the alien to land.
And Chuck Norris is slow and pathetic.
Yep.
With a hairy
He's
back.
got a hairy back.
Yeah, right. Alright, so I think I was frustrated during this scene too.
You know, I'd like to say this. I remember at this scene is very peculiar. Lots of people question me about this. You know, according to the plot and everything, it's just really strange. Basically, this scene here was a plot patch. I had to mend the story together somehow, because
Malarkey
we had
shit
we had some scenes that were never filmed because we didn't have enough people and everything went wrong. We were rushing to finish because, you know, Rob was moving to Florida and everything, and I was going back to school, and, you know, it was just, there wasn't enough time to do this movie. So I invented this scene real quick, which is basically improvised, and this scene was meant to get from here to there because we already filmed the scenes with Rob in the woods, so we needed to figure out how the hell he was going to get into the woods. So we invented this thing about these friends of the sensei coming over, and then he decides to use Dan as a guinea pig and have Rob chase after him, and, you know, for his first opponent.
That's where I punched Malarkey in the face.
And that was totally unexpected. That wasn't even a kung fu move. That was more like a wrestling move.
It was an expected Kevin Finn move, just because, and it definitely gave me enjoyment.
And I got to step on Malarkey.
It was definitely a punk, old school Kevin Finn move.
Yeah, Dan and Kevin here were both had some martial arts class. And
Yeah, we have some experience. This was a real improv.
yeah,
An improv karate scene. That was a
yeah.
Wow.
None of us knew that chairs were
weak
going to be
ass
tossed.
kick I just showed you.
Yeah.
I'm always ashamed. I'm actually ashamed of this fight scene.
Yeah, it was way. We didn't even do any takes of this fight. And there is a famous outtake that took place there, but we'll talk about that when the outtakes roll.
Later.
Now a slip there
Oh.
by the actor would have been hilarious.
Oh. And this here, I don't know why I put the turn signal on.
It's like a.
Anyway.
This is like a. What is it?
This-
Like a Terminator 2 montage or something? Here?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And this is
Uh-oh.
my cameo as the hitchhiker. I don't know if anybody got the idea, but what I was thinking was this hitchhiker has no idea what's going on. He thinks that the guy hanging on the back of the car is another hitchhiker who's more desperate than he is.
More desperate.
Definitely a desperate hitchhiker.
So we were
Oh,
on
man, this
we were on
thing-
this road.
Yeah, we were going to do a scene where we're going to drive by with a dummy head hanging out of the car and hit the sign, but we didn't have enough time, and, you know,
Plus
So-
the police were questioning us.
yeah, the police did stop us. And by the way, that part when he's hanging on the top, I was holding my camera out the window on its tripod, but I had no idea before that your car had the back windows did not open. So that completely screwed everything up because I couldn't be, you know, in Kevin's lap while he was driving and stick the camera
You
out.
could
So I
have
had
been
to.
in my lap, James.
It's the famous urination scene. That is not real urine, ladies and gentlemen.
Most people think it is, though, strangely. They think, you know, you probably just had to go to the bathroom and, you know. But think whatever you want to think. That scene was made just as an experiment. I wanted to see how people would react.
It was nice that it snowed for a bit. Very nice scenery.
Yeah, I associate most of my best memories with the snow.
Me too.
As do I.
Dave
Right.
Livesey.
Here's Dave Livesey, always a dependable actor, always comes through with humor or whatever you need him to come through with.
Yeah, we got him at the last minute. We were like, "Yo, can you come over and wear some werewolf makeup?" And and he came over.
This was actually James's first movie with prosthetics, I believe. Is that true? Or
I believe so. I think so. With nose and the ears. Yeah, I remember I had to work this night.
I think he looks good as shit. I was actually, we didn't have enough light for this scene, so I had to be sneaking around in the woods with my light on, my camera on.
Yeah.
And trying not to get in the way of the shot so I could
Yeah.
light the scene as well.
Nothing but camera lights. No, nothing else.
I think it looks pretty
I
good.
think it looks damn good.
Looks good considering. And Livesey looks good and handsome and scary, which is what we wanted.
What we were going for.
So this is the first great fight scene in the movie, I think.
We choreographed this step by step, just like in Deadly Duels at the pool, which we did before this.
We came a long way from the fight scenes in that movie.
Yeah, we did.
The editing is much superior in this movie for quick.
Yeah, and once again, I wanted to do this movie on digital. I didn't have my digital camera yet. Plus, I wanted to edit on computer, but I didn't get the chance to do that yet either. So this is done with my old method. Hopefully, one of my last movies to use this method of double VCR editing, which by now I've like mastered. But basically, you just gotta time everything by eye as you edit linear.
I'd like to comment, Livesey's a big man, but he's limber as hell. As well as Rob. Rob is he's not tiny like me. He's got a lot of body to swing around, and he's a great martial artist.
But I must say, if you want limberness and agileness, Kevin Finn is the man for you. No matter what people say, he'll always come through with the physical needs of any movie.
No, Rob, out of anyone, has gotten hurt more in a movie than any other man alive.
I'd
Threw
say
himself down the steps.
Yeah, in one of Kevin's. I'd say Rob Warden is one of the Jackie Chans of home movie entertainment.
He certainly is. He'll do it.
I remember back in the racist movie where I caught a nice little elbow to the head by Kevin Finn,
Definitely
which
did.
put me down for the count.
That was a nice shot back there. Nice epic over the hill shot.
Yeah.
This has a quiet sadness to it, which I
Yeah.
enjoy.
I love the Pink Floyd song. I used "Hey You." It really set the mood for
Oh,
this
definitely.
scene. Yeah.
And beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
Rob can tell everything just with his face, which he might have learned in this movie. He doesn't have to speak.
Yeah.
But look at that.
I should have
That
worn my
shows it all.
retainer.
He should have.
And hopefully the audience will understand what's going on here. Like he's trying to train, because now he got the idea. He's basically self-training himself now that he's met the sensei and seen Bruce Lee on TV. And
Look at these moves.
yeah, I love the way the snow flies in the air.
Like that.
The only advantage that the snow.
I really enjoy doing that.
This whole time-lapse montage is fantastic.
This little montage I have right here, when people get to watch this movie, I get chills because I know this part's coming up, and it's...
Oh, what part coming up? Oh, okay, the snow.
And girls,
It was
like
cold.
this scene.
Girls love it. They love seeing that a man can move around the way we do. So I get pretty excited.
Oh,
People
this
love
famous.
this. People love this training montage.
In homage to those like
Bruce
stick
Lee,
dummies
Yeah.
from Kung Fu flicks.
That, very nice. Yeah, chicks and everyone likes this. Everyone seems to laugh at this part. I guess.
I must say, I really am proud of this movie.
Time lapse. Yeah, I think this is James Rolfe's most entertaining movie.
Yes.
He's made a lot of good movies for different reasons, but this is very entertaining.
Cool.
People are definitely thrilled about the time lapse.
Going wild.
Uh-huh.
Everyone goes wild.
Yeah, I wanted to use like dissolves and stuff on computers, but I didn't get. All the white fades were done on this titler I have, this linear, just a little thing you hook up to your,
Now this scene coming up right here
Oh, yeah.
is the epic fight scene, which physically and mentally drained me and Kevin Finn.
Yeah.
I had nothing left to give after this. But
Pretty
James kept making us. We tried to escape several times, but James would tackle us, drag us back to the film set. I was lightheaded. I was hungry. We've been shooting for an entire, probably like 20 hours at this point.
Yeah. Well, this choreography took about 5 hours to do, and boy, it was tough. I mean, with Deadly Duels at the pool, we were basically freeze cutting. Like we choreograph each segment one at a time, freeze, move the camera a different angle, and go on.
So some
and of course, I guess we'd have to comment on that. And the famous rewind, and yeah. But yeah, this fight, basically the way we were doing this, instead of the old Deadly Duels at the pool method, we were doing like we basically choreograph long segments, film it over and over and over again, like 10 different takes of each little part, doing it from different angles, and then just cutting it all together.
I must say, having a fight scene with Kevin Finn, I'll have any time, because he's a great person to have a fight scene with, because he just can do anything you ask him to do and doesn't hurt you because he knows how to do it correctly, unlike some other people.
That's a good move.
Yeah, dude. Rob has been my favorite fight scene partner throughout my entire life. Waff Jock days, Wojo days. It doesn't get any more crisp, any more smooth. He has the instincts of a god. Just jumping around, do anything you want. It's like
Oh, another thing we broke for the movie, the wheelbarrow.
Very good.
My parents were also pissed about that. And that spaceship in the back, all I can say about that is, wow, what a rush.
I must say, every time I watch this fight scene, I love it. It's definitely worth the pain and agony that my body went through.
Yeah.
For several days after.
And what about that temperature too?
It's pretty damn cold.
Yeah.
I was numb.
I remember at least you got.
Every time we stopped moving, we could feel it, but.
Yeah, I was freezing on the other hand though. I remember one time I commented, I'm like, I am really cold. And Rob, you just looked over me and you're like, James, I'm glad you're cold.
Yeah. At this point, there was nausea. I had to flip off a tree like 2-3 times.
I think there's an exact example of Kevin Finn's nimbleness.
Look at that. But Rob doesn't slip. I slipped.
Oh, by the way, I tried those shoes on later, because remember when I did my double. Those shoes that Kevin was wearing have no tread on them at all.
No.
I don't even know how you managed to stay on your feet.
They're bowling shoes, actually, so I was on the snow and still trying to...
I took great pride in punching a hole.
Yeah,
look at that.
You hit a nail one time, didn't you?
This was awesome. I actually got that move from the Double Dragon 2 Nintendo game.
Oh, yeah.
Where he wrapped his arm around. There's a theme I liked walking across Rob in this movie.
No, I love this right here.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's what I was feeling at that point.
And right now, I suppose my back got broken. And that was an example of some of the Foley artistry that we would do for this movie.
No.
By now, Rob was not actually holding Kevin because it was they were so tired by then, and I do not blame them one bit.
I wanted to vomit at this part.
Yeah, I had to do this double right here.
I wasn't even there. That's James Rolfe, stunt double there.
Stunt double James Rolfe right there. Kevin Finn's body could not have taken that role at this point in the movie.
And there's Lizzie's. But Rob didn't have the strength to lift me over his head by the end of the day to toss me down a cliff.
Kevin Finn was at the point of vomiting. And, oh, there's the famous actor.
That's Dan Malarkey.
Dan Malarkey.
Yeah, this epilogue here was like, setting up a sequel, basically. What would you say if I asked you to be in a sequel?
You asked me to make a movie, James, and I'm there.
Alright.
We'll make it a summertime sequel. How about that?
Maybe, yeah.
So we don't have to
Yeah.
break our bones
Yeah.
on the cold snow.
Yeah, hopefully if there's ever time we'll make, because this movie is actually meant to be like first in a series. This one shows how he becomes a kung fu werewolf from outer space. In the sequel, it's basically, well, all the rest of them are going to be like, you know, chronicling his adventures.
Adventures?
Yeah.
The Kung Fu Werewolf.
Yeah, from outer space.
Yeah, this is the feel-good movie of the century. I played this at my film festival, and by this part, everyone was crying and standing and applauding in the aisles.
That was a good day.
Now these outtakes I love. The girls love them.
Damn, man.
Chicks dig the outtakes.
Yeah, everybody loves these outtakes. They're just like rolling on the floor laughing.
This is one of James Rolfe's nicest things he does, one of his trademarks. Some good outtakes there. It's just a real feel-good.
Feel-good movie, definitely. By the end of the movie, all the girls were sitting on your lap, and all the guys are on your lap as well.
Yeah, once again, the famous clothesline scene.
Yeah.
I was doing my best to look sharp, but I just felt like
Well, the transformation Dave Livesey took was great.
the artistry. Me and James whipped him into a werewolf.
Pretty fast.
He's got some sweet chops.
Yeah. And that's actually the moment when he first saw his makeup, and he loved it.
We all loved it, as you can see. And Dan Malarkey. That's Dan Malarkey.
And there goes Dan Malarkey.
That sums up Dan Malarkey.
Oh man.
Sums it up right there.
Oh man, that was horrible. We tried it before, and then it worked fine.
Look
the
at that
first
smile.
time.
Cannot beat that smile.
And the neighbor.
And he's a good kid.
Yeah. He was in
He's a
some
good kid.
old.
He would have done anything we told him to do.
He's one of the original actors in
Joe
James
Nines.
Rolfe's movies.
Yeah.
Shame you can't see this man. He's a giant.
Oh yeah, Joe Nines.
230 pounds.
And Kate's, you'll get a little glimpse of his arm
Little
here.
glimpse.
The
Man
pyrotechnic.
loves fire. That's all I could say.
Look at that. Beautiful.
And that didn't go too well.
That's a giant flame of pain. And I loved it. Look at me. I've never been more in love with anything.
And anytime I see that Kevin Finn laughter, it just makes it all worthwhile. Although it makes it hard to act because
It's very reminiscent of Waff Drop Days.
damn branch wouldn't break,
That would not break.
and I'll admit it.
That would not break. But it was, I just remember laughing. Oh, man, I bumped into the moon.
Looking at Kevin Finn, sometimes you just have to laugh.
There's my little sleight of hand. I'm not smiling.
It's hard, you know. I remember it was so hectic making this movie and trying to get it all together. And
Me and Kevin,
but it's just now, it's just so fun to look back at.
Yeah, it's really this was a very fun movie, despite
Teen Wolf.
yeah. It was
Livesey
awesome.
always a man to entertain.
Yeah, if you have Lives in your movie, it's gonna be a success. And James, he got together a starring cast for this movie, which is besides his masterful direction, it coalesced for greatness. The chemistry was there.
It was
Taking
just meant to
dives.
be an entertaining movie. That's all. It's just meant just to be, amusing. It's a B movie. It's just, it's for fun. It's not supposed to be scary. It's not supposed to be like,
And give it a little smile at the end because you know what? We just made a James Rolfe movie.
God bless you, James
God
Rolfe.
bless you, James Rolfe.
Thank you.
The greatest genre auteur director that ever lived.
Good night, everybody.